Sup guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be touching up on a comment that I got. He actually commented in two videos. I forget her name, bro, but I'm pretty sure it's the same person. But he was asking what it's like being, an addict. Fuck. I don't want to embarrass you. I don't want to make fun of you, but like somebody who smokes in the military, or like maybe they drink a lot of alcohol, like whatever. Like, what is the usage in the military like, and when are you gonna have the worst times regarding those things? And I'm gonna be touching up on that in this video. Before I get into it, gotta recommend that you subscribe if you haven't already. And this is what I do on this channel. I give advice going into the military, getting out of the military, and everything in between. So make sure to subscribe. So let's get on to it. Basically, like regarding tobacco and alcohol and all that, obviously when you're in recruit training, and that goes for any branch, you're not gonna be able to use it. Well, actually, okay, I'm pretty sure there's like a branch, probably the Air Force, where you get weekends off. I'm sure you could like go and get a pack of cigarettes or whatever. But as for Marine Corps, which is my branch, and I'm pretty sure the Army goes the same way, and probably the Navy as well, but you will not have any time off even on weekends. So that means that you are not going to be allotted time to smoke. And if you aren't allotted time to smoke, it's a given that like you aren't going to be going to supermarkets. You aren't going to be allowed. There's no smoking. All right, there's no smoking. There's no dipping. There's no alcohol. There's none of that in recruit training, obviously. One of the things that a lot of people did, because I was kind of surprised. I came from like freaking upper middle class family in Michigan, so I didn't realize how many people in the U.S. dip tobacco. And so when I got to boot camp, everybody was going crazy. All the dippers were like, "Oh my God, I need dip," And if you get sent that, it's considered contraband. You're gonna get kicked out. So definitely don't do that. I've never seen anybody dip while I was in boot camp, just because like it's illegal, right? I have seen it, however. I've heard the stories, rather, of Marines, of like drill instructors and stuff that were dipping, maybe on the range or something, or like maybe it was in land nav and they were dipping and then they like spit on the ground. And there were stories of recruits who took that dip from the ground, from that Marine, and stuck it in their mouth. Patrolled around with that in their mouth, for a quick second, just to taste it again. But other than that, there were people that would buy the floss from the MCX, which is, or not the MCX, but like what do they call that? The PX. I don't know what it stands for, but it's basically the recruit MCX without any cigarettes. The only thing in it is just like writing supplies and socks, basically. So people would get wads of floss, and they would stick it in there, and a lot of people said that it kind of simulated what it's like having a dip in, like freaking the minty flavor or whatever. But dipping wise, that's what you'll do. Alcohol, okay, you know what? Let's just skip to freaking when you hit the fleet, or how about training after boot camp? So after you get through that 2 to 3 months, depending on which branch you're in, you're going to be in your training for your schools, and that's where you will be able to go and do all those things. The only trick is if you're in the field, you aren't going to be smoking. All right, at least if you're in the Marine Corps, because Marine Corps is like super disciplined, and that is my experience. Is that all the people who smoke and all the people who smoke, you can't smoke in the field because it'll like attract freaking enemies. They can smell it or they can see the light or whatever. So you can't smoke in the field. But once you're out of the field, you can definitely smoke. You can do all that on your off time. But freaking SOI, so School of Infantry, you aren't going to be able to smoke if you're in the field. But as long as when you're able to go to the MCX, the Marine Corps Exchange, on the weekend, and you get your supply of cigarettes, they'll give you time, smoke breaks. They'll give you time to go and smoke and stuff. That's at least what happened in my company, which was actually a pretty bad company given all. So, you'll be given time for that. Dipping, however, will always be allowed. You'll always be able to dip. That is like the main source of tobacco for most, or nicotine rather, for most servicemen, at least Marine Corps infantry wise. Now, once you hit the fleet, you will always be able to do any of those things, even if you're 18 years old, and like obviously you just went out of high school, you enlisted, now you're in your unit, you're in the fleet, the same thing. Alcohol wise, they don't give a fuck. We actually had our sergeant major. He got kicked out for drinking on the job. This guy was in for like 20 years. He was our sergeant major. But anyway, he used to say at the end of the week, like after we're done with like barracks, just like a week of barracks when we're just like kind of training, but we're not in the field. He'd be like, "All right, Marines, like I don't give a fuck if you're underage. You can crack a cold one on me," and we're all like, "Rah, hurrah, sweet." Yeah, so they don't give a fuck if you're drinking underage, but there are always gonna be buddy fuckers. So like, well, I mean, you can buddy fuck yourself. So like, if you drink too much and now you're freaking running around to other barracks that aren't even your units, that's where you get screwed up. And the NCOs are gonna track you down, call the MPs, and the MPs are gonna take your ass to the brig for a day or something, and you're gonna get chewed out by your superiors. But as long as you keep it under control in your barracks, yeah, you should be fine, totally fine. A lot of people drink beer. I know. Oh God, Jesus! I remember this one time. I don't know if I told you guys this story. Maybe this is like normal for people who grow up around alcohol, but I was like a good boy. I was a good boy all my life, so I didn't experience this. But when I was in my barracks, I remember I was sitting there and I was Skyping my girlfriend at the time, and I was like just having a good time playing video games and stuff, and like 10 guys, 10 Marines from my platoon walk into my room, and I was like, "What's happening?" They all have a beer in their hand, glass beer bottles, right? And they're like, "Man, fuck this." And one of them, he throws the beer bottle at the ground and the glass goes everywhere. It shatters all across the room. Imagine this. Like you're in your kitchen and some guy with all the strength, like some drunk guy and with a freaking like tard strength right now, just freaking throws this beer bottle on the ground as hard as he can, and there's glass flying everywhere. 16 people, all of them. There's people that came in afterwards, did that with all their beers. We had 16 beer bottles shattered. Some people put it on their Snapchat stories. I wish I Snapchatted it because I miss those. I miss being able to prove what I did in the Marine Corps. Like I got a combat action ribbon after that, and good day. We cleaned it up. It was all over my freaking bed, I remember, and I had to clean it up. And I slept in my friend's room for the night because he wasn't drinking either. He was just playing video games, just like, stop knocking on my door, It wasn't to spite me. It was just what Marines do sometimes. They'll do random shit like that. So watch out. Marines barracks parties get whack. They get whack, guys. Other than that, yeah, you're gonna be able to do all that stuff in the fleet. You can smoke every day. You can do everything you want. Most of the people in the Marine Corps, at least, smoke or dip or drink alcohol on a regular basis. I am the outlier. I understand that. So that is a good question. The person who commented this, and I hope I answered your questions. If you're in the field, obviously you can't drink alcohol. So there you go. I think that's the last thing. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like, subscribe one last final time, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.